friends, Miss Christy here, and thank you for being here to cook in the kitchen with me today. Today we are making a cheese quesadilla. So this is a quick little meal or maybe just a snack for the afternoon that you can try to make yourself. It's gonna be a fun day in the kitchen. Now, the first step again to working in the kitchen or cooking is to wash your hands. So while I wash my hands with soap and warm water for 20 seconds, let's go over the ingredients and the supplies that you'll need to cook together today. The ingredients we'll need today are 2 tortillas, 1/4 cup shredded cheese, and cooking spray. The supplies we'll need today are a medium-sized frying pan, a spatula, 1/4 cup measuring cup, a pizza cutter, and a plate. Okay, now that my hands are clean and you have your ingredients and supplies that you need to cook together today, let's get started. The very first step is going to be to put our frying pan on the stove and let it warm up. That way, while we're putting together our quesadilla, our pan is getting nice and warm. So grab your frying pan, let's take a walk over to the stove. And we're gonna set this to medium. So whichever burner that you're using, you're just going to put it on medium heat. And again, that's just gonna get warm while we put together our quesadilla. All right, first thing to make our cheese quesadilla is to grab your tortillas. So again, you need 2 tortillas. This is just 1 cheese quesadilla that we're making. It's a nice little snack or maybe just a part of your meal. And we're gonna assemble it on our plate and then just transfer it right onto our pan, which makes it a little bit easier. So take 1 tortilla and just set it down on your plate. This is a super simple recipe, so I really hope you give it a try. After you got your 1 tortilla down on the plate, we are going to do 1/4 cup of shredded cheese. Whichever cheese is your favorite. I happen to have like a mozzarella, but if you have orange cheese or a different flavor, whichever you like best. So grab your 1/4 cup measuring cup. It's gonna say 1/4, it's kind of a smaller one. And you're just gonna measure out that much cheese. So I'm gonna get a nice scoop here. And then we're just gonna sprinkle it on that bottom tortilla. So you can kind of plop it down and just spread it out. If you find you don't have enough cheese, maybe your tortillas are a little bit bigger than mine, just use a little bit more cheese. However much you need to kind of cover the whole bottom. That way, once it's cooked, it's all nice and melty and delicious. All right, the cheese is on the bottom tortilla. Take your top tortilla and just place it right on top. And this is it. It's ready to now get cooked on our pan that's been warming up on the stove top. So what I'm gonna do now is just take the plate that we've assembled it on, grab your spatula, because that's what we're gonna use to flip it, and we're gonna head back to the stove. All right, we are here at the stove. Our pan is nice and warm, so let's cook this cheese quesadilla. The first step is gonna be just to put a little cooking spray down. That way our quesadilla and our tortillas don't stick to the pan when we're trying to cook it. So just a little spray. All right, now because our cheese quesadilla has been pre-assembled over there when we just did earlier, all you're gonna do is just kind of take it and carefully, because this pan is hot, is place it onto your pan. We need to let this cook on each side for about 30 to 60 seconds. It's gonna just be a little bit different depending on the type of tortilla you have. So we basically really need to check to see when it's ready to flip, which is where our spatula comes into play. So how you're gonna do that is just obviously kind of grab a hold of your handle to keep the pan so it doesn't move around. And you'll just take your spatula and just kind of lift up on the bottom and see when it's brown. Okay, yours might cook really fast, it might need a little bit better, but when it's a nice golden color, you're going to scoop it up and flip it over. And the same thing on this next side. We just have to let it cook until when we lift our spatula up underneath and it's a little bit of that brown color or that golden brown, that's when we know it's ready. We're really just trying to give the tortillas a little bit of flavor from warming them up and melting the cheese on the inside. All right, so my cheese quesadilla looks good. I'm ready to take it off the stove and bring it back over to our workspace to let it cool down. So I'm gonna turn off the burner. Very important that we don't leave our stovetop on. And carefully, grab the handle of your pan and just very carefully walk it over to your counter or your workspace and put it on that pot holder so that we can protect the counter and we let it cool. All right, we have brought our cheese quesadilla back over to our counter or our workspace, and we've let it cool for probably about a minute or so. We just want it to be a little less hot right off the pan. So we get some time to cool, and now we're just gonna put it on our plate and cut it up and give it a try. So take your spatula. Obviously, even though it's cooled, the pan is gonna be a little bit hot still, so I am just going to scoop it off my pan and put it right back on that plate that we prepared it on. Grab your pizza cutter. You could do this with a knife if you wanted. Pizza cutter just makes it a lot easier. And I'm just gonna cut mine in half. And then we're just gonna cut it in half one more time. So it made 4 little triangles. And now we get to try it, which is the best part. So good. The cheese is melted, the tortillas got a little bit crispy, and I really do hope you try this recipe. It was so quick, I think we made it in just a few minutes, and it's a good snack to have, in the middle of the day or as part of a meal. I really hope you try it because I think you'll do a great job. All right, let's talk about next week. We are gonna be making potato wedges. So this is a fun, super easy recipe that you can make, impress your friends, your family. It's so good, and I do hope you make it with me. The ingredients that you'll need to make this recipe are 2 potatoes, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1/4 teaspoon pepper, 1 teaspoon garlic powder. I had such a great time making this cheese quesadilla with you today. Again, this was a super simple snack that just took a few minutes, and I do hope you try this one and let us know how it goes. Now, remember, subscribe to the channel so you can keep getting notified of all of the upcoming videos, and I can't wait to cook with you next time. Bye, friends.